You know, in the past, we were just like, go take these exams and do these things and get the grades and da-da-da-da-da-da and jump through the hoops, and we give you your diploma and now go out on the world. But the world's different now. So like, what could Penn State do to make it more likely that you all would succeed? Okay, let me ask you this question. Do you think I'm prepared for AI?
No.
Yeah?
Probably not.
Because at some point in time, you stop thinking, you stop growing, you stop being creative, and you stop being curious. And a big part of that are these exams that you take in school, that you just are jumping through the hoops, taking exams because you think you got to do that, just like we took the exam earlier, and you stop the curiosity. And it's like, dude, curiosity goes to the bitter end, man. Our current provost is saying, as is every provost around the world, every college president around there is like, we need to make our students AI ready. We need to prepare them for a world of AI, and we need to make them AI proficient and AI ready so that they are prepared to take on the world and harness AI and use it for good in the way, okay? So when you're in charge of this university and you're looking at all these folks out here times whatever it is, you're like, man, my responsibility is to make sure that these folks are prepared for this. What could Penn State do? What would you do if you were in that position?
I think Penn State, like most schools in general, is very anti-AI. Like when you take a class, there's an AI policy on every syllabus. Most of our tests and essays, we have in-class essays and they're written on paper. Yeah. And we're not allowed to use computers as often. They're trying to make it as fair as possible, and they're being very anti-AI. But then when you get into the real world and you enter the field of business, you enter the field of law, they are using AI to write emails, they're using AI to write briefs, they're using AI in a positive way. And I think that to prepare us for a world with AI, we need to be taught how to use AI and how to use it efficiently, because I feel like most people, they think that we're just like typing into AI, like write an essay for me. But there's a lot of ways that we could use AI for good. Okay. All right. Do you use AI in your high school, by the way? Are you allowed?
We're not like some courses, there are like policies and like guidelines where you can like use it for certain parts, but like not for other parts. Okay.
So given what you just said, so this is one of the things that the professoriate here and the administration and lots of other places are starting to say, hey, we gotta get people, we need to start allowing people to use AI, but use AI in ways that's actually generative, right? And so precisely kind of what you're saying. What else could Penn State do or other universities do to prepare you for this world that you're coming to? Think bigger. Think about what kind of consciousness do you need students to have? What kind of like day-to-day stuff? Like what kind of, like I have the idea that Aria, that you as a sociology major sociology is a field that will really prepare people for this new world that's happening, because we're looking at the ways in which it's complicated, but I feel like sociology is a great field for the future. You know, in the past we were just like, go take these exams and do these things and get the grades and da-da-da-da-da-da and jump through the hoops, and we give you your diploma and now go out on the world. But the world's different now. So like, what could Penn State do to make it more likely that you all would succeed?
A required comp sci class for everyone.
Oh, so you're thinking actually concrete skills.
Like maybe not like something too, but I feel like we should have a semi-required course everybody takes, like a seminar type of deal, so you actually practice.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Do you think I'm prepared for AI?
No.
Yeah?
Probably not.
Huh. Do you think my mind is prepared for anything that comes at me? Like, just given what you know, you've seen me You watch me in here. You see like kind of how I think and where I go.
In your field, probably you're going to be better than AI, but in the rest of the field, probably not.
Wait, this is gonna sound kind of mean, but I don't mean it to
You don't
be
have to be mean. Oh, dude, I'm old.
I don't mean
Are you
mean.
gonna say I'm old?
I wasn't gonna word it like that. I don't. It's just like I feel like our parents. I've seen the way that my parents use a phone, and I've seen like even the generation on top of that. It was kind of just like I feel like you guys will use AI to like the bare minimum of where we started.
Dude, I want to just show you something. Look at these apps on my phone. I have more apps on my phone, and I use them all, man. I can tell you there's probably nobody in this room that is as proficient on this thing as I am. I talk to people, I communicate with people all over the world in languages and all sorts of things. Dude, can I say this? I am so ready for AI. I am so adaptable. I'm so change ready. Anything that happens, I'm golden. The biggest change in the world, I'm like, bring it on, man, because I'm ready. I'm not afraid of anything. I am like, whatever happens, I'm going to adapt. If I have to return to painting houses or digging ditches, I can do that. I spent my childhood digging ditches. I'm ready, man. I got a mindset of that. I don't care that I have a PhD. I'll do anything. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm more ready than anybody in this room for AI.
Well, I mean, in that case, I guess so, but at the same time, it's kind of just like not every. How old are you?
Not every old person.
Not old person, but like not every like adult over the age of like 40. I'm sorry.
You know why?
I'm sorry.
No, you want to know why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all want to know why? Because at some point in time, you stop thinking, you stop growing, you stop being creative, and you stop being curious. And a big part of that are these exams that you take in school, that you just are jumping through the hoops, taking exams because you think you got to do that, just like we took the exam earlier, and you stop the curiosity. And it's like, dude, curiosity goes to the bitter end, man. The thing that you should be most curious about is what happens at the moment that you die. If that's exciting. You know, to think about death is exciting. Man, I get to go through that tunnel.
But do you think that AI is going to bring back your creativity?
No, I have my creativity. I will use AI to be even more creative. Man, and when I lose my job because you don't need it anymore, I'm going to go the next direction. I'm going to be like, oh, this is so exciting. Let me go here, let me go there, let me do whatever. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. And I think Penn State, for example, maybe what Penn State could do, so this is me talking to you all, is do a double down on curiosity and creativity. Doesn't matter whether it's art or literature or comp sci or anything. It's just double down on that, man. And those of you who are not creative and you're just here because you're trying to get your exam to get your diploma, you're in trouble, man. You're in trouble because you're not going to adapt. You might as well quit school and go be an apprentice with a plumber or an electrician or somebody of that nature who's going to give you a skill that you will be able to use to survive.
Can I change my answer real fast?
Go ahead, change your answer, dude.
Well, because now that I'm actually thinking about it, I feel like I'm sorry that I keep calling you old. I feel bad, but like your generation.
No,
like,
you can call me old, dude. I'm old. I'm 65. I'm like, come on, are you ready?
Wait, really?
I'm 65. I'm really old. Yeah.
But I feel like your generation has had to adapt so many more times than like we have. Like like technology, the phones, all that. So now that I'm thinking about it, why wouldn't you guys be able to adapt one more time to like AI and like above that?
You know why? Because most people of my generation, and I can speak with at least one other person of my generation who's in the room, so many people around us, they stop living. They stop being creative. They stop being interested in life. And they're doing their thing. And it's like, if you do that, you're in trouble, man. And I got students, by the way, keep this in mind as you think about college. I got students who have stopped living. They've stopped being creative. It's like, stop, man. The world's coming. It's coming at you fast, and it's exciting. Man, this is the most exciting time ever to be alive right now. But you got to harness it, and you can't be afraid of it.
And then just...
Hey, wait, am I ranting?
No, you're
I know
you're good,
I am
don't worry.
ranting. All right.
But
do you... Oh. All right, hang on. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, back to what Jesse was saying earlier about how people are buying into AI so fast, and I had this thought for a minute. I feel like a common theme with us as a society is we kind of jump into things too fast without realizing the consequences of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's gonna happen with this.
Well, part of it is because you have some journalist somewhere that comes up with a headline that says, "Oh my God, AI," with those headlines that I had up here earlier. It's like, yeah, okay, come on, man.
I was just gonna say, like, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, I think that a lot of the time, like, I think sociology is a great degree because it kind of teaches you how to think creatively and how to think critically. I think that a lot of the time, AI has kind of killed our critical thinking skills and just technology in general, because we don't have a lot of opportunities to just have open intellectual conversations.
Yeah.
So I think that the number one way to combat against AI is to work on having critical thinking skills. Like, one of my favorite questions to ask in sociology is, like, if you were a blank, what would you be? Like, if you were a utensil, what kind of utensil would you be? And I think it's a ridiculous question, but I think it's good to ask people that because it kind of helps you think more critically, and you think about yourself, and you kind of can like learning how to define yourself in the world.
I was going to say, in all of this, emotions haven't really been mentioned, and AI is not passionate. AI doesn't really generate anything for us. Humans have emotions, and emotions drive our creative thinking. They drive our decisions every single day, all the time. AI does not do that. We tell it what to do for us. It gives us something generated, and then we run with it.
So you got to learn to use it in a way that allows that to continue to happen.
Yeah. There's really nothing like the human experience and the emotions that drive it. So
I got that. Bro, I'm not going to get to you. I want to get to you, but I know I'm not going to. Okay, final two thoughts. Bro, what do you think? We have 1 minute. I'm going to give you 30 seconds and you 30 seconds.
Oh, no.
What do you think about what I said about being alive and the optimism and the possibilities? And being old, man, being old and being alive.
Okay, I'm gonna be mean. Because you're old, that means you have some saving to support yourself through to be creative. Some of us don't have that luxury, so.
Yeah, but you do. You come from money, man. You're from China.
Okay,
Your parents have money.
I'm somewhat rich.
Yeah,
okay.
you got it. All right. Katie, what do you think about, you get the final thing, what do you think about what I said about being older and being, no, you're speaking for the masses, so you're good.
Well, I actually think it's more beneficial to be older in today's society that's like conquered by AI, because you experience a life without AI, without any devices, any internet, but like you still manage to survive. And the fact that you have those skills means like you're more than prepared.
Dude, I love that.
Right?
Yep, I love that.